How Trump's trade war over Greenland will hit Britain's potential for a prolonged period of uncertainty could push UK's fragile economy back into recession. Follow this page for more updates on international news. Donald Trump's 10% Greenland tariff is set to hit British exporters, including the makers of cars, medicines, and machinery, to the tune of £6 billion. The potential for a prolonged period of trade uncertainty and even higher tariffs in June could be enough to push Britain's fragile economy back into recession, economists warned. Although the tariffs would in theory be passed on to American consumers, these higher prices may drive down U.S. demand. This would either dent British exporters' sales or force them to take a profit hit by lowering their own prices. Marco Forgione, the Director General of the Institute of Export and International Trade, said, "We're going to see goods trading with the U.S. suddenly becoming uncompetitive in the marketplace. So the impact for the UK will be huge, particularly at a time when we are struggling with very anemic growth." If he imposes these tariffs and they remain for any period of time, it is going to put extreme pressure on the UK economy and could potentially be enough to tip the UK into recession. This is coercion, really. Economists think crippling uncertainty would be an even bigger hit to the British economy. David Hennig, the director of the UK Trade Policy Project, said, "If you're planning any kind of exports to the US, you no longer know what is going to happen tomorrow. This is obviously a huge hit to US exporters." Neil Shearing, the group chief economist at Capital Economics, added that if the tariffs carried on through the year, billions of pounds of business investment in Britain would be put on ice at a time when investment was already structurally very low. The tariffs will have blindsided exporters. Mr. Trump's escalation of his bid to take over Greenland has dramatically picked up pace and pits him against some of his closest military allies and economic partners. To be honest, my first reaction was, WTF. This is coercion, really, said Mr. Shearing. Mr. Trump's previous 10% tariff hit on Britain as part of his Liberation Day salvo in April last year, fueled a drop of more than 4% in goods exports to the U.S. during the second quarter. After adding 0.3 percentage points to GDP growth in the first quarter, trade added 0 in the second quarter. But then the trade deal between Mr. Trump and Sir Keir Starmer came into force on June 30th, giving some relief to British exporters of cars and pharmaceuticals. Even so, British goods exports are on course to have fallen about 7% last year from the previous year. The vast majority of those exports come out of Britain's factories, which contribute 9% to Britain's GDP and employ 2.6 million people. The U.S. is Britain's largest single export market, buying about 16% of all UK goods exports. In the 12 months to November, Americans bought 27.8 billion of machinery and transport equipment, 16.7 billion of cars and other road vehicles, 14.3 billion of chemicals, 11.7 billion of machinery, and 10.8 billion of pharmaceuticals. These are all vital industries for Britain's economy. Car manufacturers contribute 21 billion per year to the UK economy, around 0.9% of all national economic output, and employ 139,000 people. British car makers were already reeling from Mr. Trump's tariff announcements last year, when the U.S. president declared an additional 25% charge on all U.S. car imports. Profits at Jaguar Land Rover, a key exporter to the U.S., plummeted by 49% in the 3 months to last June, in the immediate aftermath of Mr. Trump's levies, which JLR said had a direct and material impact on profitability and cash flow in the period. The U.S.-UK trade deal eventually cut the tariff JLR was charged on its exports to the U.S. from 27.5% to 10%, but this is now in jeopardy. Britain's pharmaceutical sector, meanwhile, contributes 17.6 billion per year, EMPL,